Pickaxe.
Hello and welcome to YOMP! Hello, welcome to YOMP. That's YOMP, Ye Old Movie Podcast. This is a movie discussion podcast where we take an in-depth and serious look at cinema. I will be your host, Dr. Simon Lane. And I am joined, I'm the Diggy Hole Man, by the way. I gotta say that.
Yeah.
And I am joined by Professor G-Star Games.
Oh, I don't know why we're all academic scholars today, but yes. Hello.
She's a professor of fragrance-ology.
Yes.
Fragrology.
And weebinology too. Don't forget, it's combined. And yes, hello, I'm G, full Christian name G-Star Games. Welcome to this episode of YOMP. And joined by me is Dr. Sophie Rogerson? Question mark?
Yeah, you could call me a doctor. Don't have any, formal qualifications. But what I lack in formal qualifications, I make up for in spunk.
Oh,
Ugh.
she's full of spunk, that one, isn't she?
Jesus Christ.
I'm full of spunk. I'm Sophie. Welcome. Also known as Boof. So if you get confused, don't get confused. Just don't do it.
Just don't.
Just don't.
Just stop.
Stop
Just stop.
being
Just don't.
confused.
Please.
Fuck.
Everyone stop.
Oh, dear.
Oh,
In the name of love.
beautiful.
Before you break my heart.
I feel like I'm being serenaded by two angels.
Two doctors.
Biblically accurate angels.
Yeah. With 27 eyes and 38 wings. Just howling.
I love a
me.
biblically accurate angel so much. They're
They're
great.
brilliant, aren't they?
They are.
We're not here to talk about angels. We're here to talk about films.
Films.
And this week it was my second pick in a row. So I'm locked out.
Let me in.
Let me in. Let me.
Hello, I'm trapped outside. Help me. Help.
Can you hear that? Was that
Yeah,
coming
that
over?
was really good.
Oh my god.
It's terrifying. Only me and Rob Brydon can do that, by the way.
Simon and Rob Brydon, whoever that is.
You don't know who Rob Brydon is?
What the fuck?
No. Wait, we're
Get
Rob...
out. You're banned from the pod.
She's banned from the UK. She's
Oh, I know it. I know him. I know him.
yeah,
I know him.
yeah. You
I had
know
to see
it.
his face.
Yeah.
Isn't
and what
he-
what a lovely craggy Welsh face he has.
Uncle Ted?
Well,
No. What's his name?
Uncle Ted, that's right. Good old Uncle Ted.
No, what's that show you guys watch? Father Ted.
Father
Right,
Ted.
G-Star
Right.
thinks that Rob Brydon is Father Ted.
Yeah.
I'm confusing him with someone
Fantastic.
else. Who plays Father
He's,
Ted?
a man called
Dermot O'Leary.
Dermot O'Leary.
No, ignore
He's
me.
dead.
Ignore me.
He's dead.
I've crossed my wires. He played. Yeah, I've crossed my wires. My bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. Right, where were we? Yes, the film. The film we're discussing, Johnny Mnemonic, a Simon pick.
I kept going to spell his name PNEU.
Right.
Mnemonic.
Mnemonic.
Like
Mnemonic.
pneumatic.
Yeah.
I kept
So that's what I love that. There's a fact about my mum. She used to think that Newmarket, like the is it like a race course or something?
Yeah.
And there was a game. She used to spell it with a P, like pneumonia, like
With a silent
Newmarket.
P.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right, she added a silent P. Okay.
No, yeah. Well, she is very, very dyslexic.
Right. Much
Which
like
ties into the
Keanu
film.
Reeves.
Yes, much like Keanu Reeves.
Oh my god.
Whoa!
In real life and in character. Well,
Is he in
not
real
really.
life?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is quite cool. That's a good fact.
So yeah, Keanu Reeves stars in this film. 95, and it's one of the most 1995 movies in existence.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm very fond of this film. I've watched it a number of times. There's a few things in particular that I love about it. I guess if we go through it somewhat chronologically, it'll come up.
Yeah, I don't think I want to spend scene by scening it today.
Okay.
I can't be arsed. I like it free flowing. You know?
I think we should always change it up. Sometimes we can do it free flow. If other times, if it takes our fancy, we can do it a bit structured. It's whatever.
People enjoy it more when we don't know what the fuck.
Ironically, I have seen comments from people who were saying that they like it structured. So I've seen a mixed bag. Yeah.
It's a mixed bag of nuts.
It is.
I think a lot of the people that prefer the structured scene by scene are the people that don't want to watch the film.
Probably. Yeah.
So they get all of the details.
Yeah.
I'm sure they enjoyed our Prestige episode. It has a running time of 4.5 hours.
That was a good episode, though. Good episode.
Jesus, I got angry and I shouted at you both during it.
Yeah, maybe that's why people like it so much, because you're telling us off. I think if we could do like a mixture.
Yes.
We could, I mean, like even throughout the episode, just a vague, not scene by scene, but chronologically natter on about bullshit.
Yes, I agree.
And see what happens.
So the film starts with a long text crawl, which is not a good start to a film, is it?
No.
I know how you guys feel about that.
I can't think of a single film that's been successful. Long text crawl.
I mean, it does explain everything, but it's a lot of information all at once to take in.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking read it. I'm going to be honest.
Wow. You must have been so lost.
I read a bit of it as it was going, and I was like, well, it'll explain it, right? I was really, really tired. And also, my film was really, really dark.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's the deal with this, Sophie? What's the deal with your dark film?
Right. I was like, okay, I will crack this one out on video. I mean, I like it's an authentic experience when you watch something on video. And I was like, right, well, I've never actually seen this film and I have it on video.
So you're talking about VHS tape?
Yeah.
Magnetic tape.
Magnetic tape. And it's
in the olden days, this was the only way you could watch films at home.
That's the thing, right?
Well, apart from the telly. But...
It's a small box sell-through tape, so very cheap. Not the best quality tape stock. And I was like, holy shit, is it meant to be this fucking dark? Because the opening scene, right?
Keanu half naked in bed.
Keanu's well, apparently I didn't know that. I didn't see any of this. I could see some shapes moving around.
There's just a pale form that could be a man.
Yeah, I could see like the backlight. Okay, and I was like, okay, so I guess we're not really supposed to be seeing what's going on in this scene. Like,
no.
So
how long did you watch it?
I watched it up to the bit where he was in the lift.
Right. Okay.
Like,
that's not too far in.
Yeah, it's not too far in. And by this point, I was like, right, it's got to be my video. So I went on the internet and I booted up an actual copy of it that was like a HD.
That you legally obtained, yeah.
I legally obtained through the internet and correct channels. And I looked at it on my phone and I looked at it on the screen and I was like, oh. And I went back to the bits that I'd missed. I was like, okay, shit, it's not meant to be that fucking dark. So I stopped the video and I put the actual one that I could see on it, because
you watched it on your phone.
I did not watch it on my phone, surprisingly.
But like in the windowed form on Android phones.
Yes.
Where it's like,
oh my god,
half an inch high.
Oh my god, not the windowed form. The tiny little
He's so small.
Shout out to Honey Tom. He watches G streams like that.
Oh my
Twitch.
god. Roasted for a third time.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people do that. I've only ever used that feature like maybe twice because I wanted to like Google something.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like, lying down on the sofa and, in your living room or you're in bed, you don't want to like get the laptop. If you may not even have a laptop or like a tablet, just on your phone, browsing Reddit or whatever, and you have the little tiny window.
Yeah.
Not a good way. Can you imagine how Christopher Nolan or Martin Scorsese would react?
Oh, Martin Scorsese would definitely have words. He's very opinionated about cinema and how it is experienced. I did see, however, that Christopher Nolan is actually a fan of the Fast and Furious movies.
I thought you were going to say Johnny Mnemonic
No.
to bring it back round.
No.
But the Fast and the Furious movies.
He's
what
like
the fuck?
He says that he like unironically loves them and they're a good
It'd be
good time.
so funny if he had a Vin Diesel tattoo. Can you imagine?
I wish.
I think it'd be funny if anybody had a Vin Diesel tattoo. Like, who's getting
Oh
fucking
my
Vin Diesel
God.
tattooed on them? Of all the people.
Gee, you need to add it as like a sub goal.
No amount of
Right.
subs could ever.
2,000 subs.
No.
You get a Vin Diesel tattoo
No, absolutely not. It'd have to be
on
a
your chest.
just peeking up from like on the
Yeah.
cleavage. Yeah,
Like a third tit.
that's
His head
awful.
rising up between
Yeah, like it's
your
peeking
cleavage.
over. Yeah.
Somehow, yeah.
How
That-
to
oh,
how to
God,
turn off a
that's so
guy
bad.
101.
Oh my god, is that Vin Diesel? Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's how Christopher Nolan would react.
He would, I think, since he's such a fan.
Christ almighty. Okay, can we talk about the film? So should we just generally talk about the cast?
Sure.
Because I want to talk about obviously Keanu Reeves, but pretty early on he talks to his contact who gets him the jobs, like his agent. He's like a data courier, and this guy gives him jobs. He goes to a place, they implant data into an implant in his brain, and he goes off smuggling the data secretly, and then it's like decoded at the other end. And he's played by Udo Kier, his agent man.
Yeah.
Udo Kier from Iron Sky
Hmm.
Yeah.
and other things, of course, obviously.
Ironically, he was
Did
in
you recognize him?
Hunters. I did recognize him, yeah.
I couldn't see him for the first bit, so I recognised his voice.
Yeah, because he was through a like a fuzzy monitor, I think, when he first spoke.
Yeah, and I went to the picture settings on my telly and I put it on vivid to try and be able to see what was going on my VHS.
Jesus
And it didn't
Christ.
work. And then when I put the actual like HD version on, I was like blinded. I was like, "Oh my god, there's colours!"
Oh my god. So we see Ice-T quite early on for like a brief moment when a TV broadcast
So fucking
is
random.
hijacked, and we see like his eyes and mouth
Yeah.
kind of appear in like 3 separate windows.
Yeah.
It's an odd kind of effect, but it's good to sort of mask the fact that Ice-T is in this film if you didn't know. Also, I wanted to know, and I wanted to get round to this as soon as possible, did Booth realize that it was Dolph Lundgren
No,
that played the preacher?
no.
Really?
Cyber Jesus.
Cyber Jesus. I didn't realise it was Dolph Lundgren.
Oh.
I recognise Henry Rollins because he's
Yeah.
I recognise Henry Rollins.
From Heat.
Oh yeah,
He was in Heat.
apparently he was. I can't remember.
Oh my god.
And that's about it. Now, the one thing that I did get excited about was something in the film. Holy shit! I started scribbling in my notes. When they go into the club, maybe we should wait until the bit where we talk about
No,
it.
it's all right. You
a
can.
general bit. They go to a club at one point in the film. I say they. It's where Udo Kier is hanging out in this club, and they're playing Orbital.
Oh, is that who it is? Fuck.
And oh god, I mean, I was like, movie fucking saved when they're listening to Orbital. And also, there's a woman in that club that's wearing glasses like Orbital wear when they play their live sets, which is like a pair of glasses with a torch on either side of their head.
Oh my god,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I remember that though.
I fucking love Orbital, and yeah, it's
the
great.
two tiny torches on either side of the goggle things.
Hartnell Brothers.
Oh man.
I forget which track it actually is, but it's one of the most recognizable Orbital tracks.
Is it Sad But True?
Probably.
Yeah.
You're saying that.
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm a big fan of Orbital.
Are they the ones that did Satan, 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 Satan?
I don't know.
Satan. Was that Orbital?
Sounds like Neil Armstrong.
What?
No, Neil. Never mind.
Were you actually making a joke, or did you actually slip up? I don't know anymore.
I use one of the amendments that Americans use to not make a comment.
The Fifth Amendment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neil Armstrong was on the moon, G-Star. Neil Armstrong was the guy that walked on the moon.
I'm on the moon. I can't breathe. There's no oxygen.
I love that meme so much.
Fucking hell.
Oh, fucking good.
Oh.
Anyway,
yeah.
I love the fact that Orbital was. Oh yeah, it was Satan that they did as well. I was a fan of Orbital back then. As well. Oh my god! Apparently Orbital did the soundtrack for the Pentaveret, a TV miniseries with Mike Myers as a Canadian journalist, and it's absolute fucking garbage.
He plays like 5 different characters in it.
Because that's what Mike Myers does.
Or at least 5.
And yeah, apparently Orbital did the fucking soundtrack to that.
He plays 8 different characters in it. It's basically like a nice Illuminati.
I loved Orbital when I was a kid, like because my dad listened to a lot of Orbital, so I remember going on holiday to like Newquay, and from Yorkshire, that's a long drive, and he would put his Orbital CDs on, and so that's like the soundtrack of my childhood.
Oh. That kept her quiet on the car journey.
It fucking did as well. We loved it. A little bit of Orbital, some of the Orb, and then also we had a Now That's What I Call Music album for us kids.
Oh god. I'm just imagining like Sophie just going, I spy with my little eye something beginning with C, and your dad going, is it car? Yay, it's car! Oh my god.
We were a lot more annoying than that, Simon.
And then he puts the Orbital tape in the fucking tape deck.
I sang all the fucking time.
Satan!
Anything that I saw,
God.
I would make into a song. And I was writing songs about the cats all the time. And I was so annoying. I mean, looking back at myself, I was annoying.
Plus ça change, as they say in French. So yeah, Udo Kier gets this one last job that Johnny wants to do to get enough money to remove the implant, because the implant is stopping him from remembering his childhood. He doesn't know where he came from. He doesn't know his parents. Those memories are all squished by this big implant in his brain. And he's in the lift, and he upgrades his hard drive in his head by just downloading more RAM from the internet or something. He has like a special memory booster
It's a
And it
doubler.
doubles. Yeah, it doubles his
It's literally
storage.
called a doubler.
So his original storage was 800 gigabytes, and he upgraded it to 160. 880, right? Did I say 80 or 800?
Yeah, you said 800.
Right, I meant
Which would
80.
be fine. The
That would be fine then. Then there wouldn't be a problem in the film. But it was only 80, doubled to 160. However, the job, these very nervous guys, I think he's in Beijing or somewhere, right?
Beijing. Yeah.
So he's in a hotel in Beijing, and they want him to store 320 gig, which is double again.
Mm.
And, you know, he kind of agrees, and they're like, are you sure?
Well, no, he definitely agrees. He's like, yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
don't worry
I can
about
handle it.
I can handle it.
Whatever.
it won't be. They're asking him how much he can store, and he's like, "Oh, enough."
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's when you
I
know,
got it.
like, that's when you know that you shouldn't fucking trust what he says.
Yeah.
Like,
But
Also-
they're kind of like, they're in a race against time. They know. That's why they're so nervous.
Yeah. I also put at the beginning of the film, I put, hey, it's Johnny Silverhand. I mean, John Constantine. I mean, Johnny Utah. I mean, John Wick. I mean, Jonathan Harker.
Plays a lot of Johns.
He loves his
Johnnies,
Johns.
Jonathans.
they're just like,
Yeah.
oh, what can we call this character? And he goes, "How about John?"
Fucking
Fantastic.
hell.
So these guys, they're very nervous, and they do say, you know, if your brain can't handle this storage, you will die in a couple of days, and our precious data will end up being corrupted. And he's like, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Because you can get seepage if you fill your brain up too much.
Yeah.
I wish they didn't call it fucking seepage, man.
Synaptic seepage.
That's what's
Ugh.
happening today, though. Everyone's too chronically online, so everyone's just got seepage.
That's what TikTok does to your brain.
To be honest.
Did you see it in the opening crawl? I did write down there was the Info Wars,
Yes.
Oh yeah, it mentioned fucking InfoWars.
and there's a virus in 2021.
Yeah.
Very based. Very true.
Ooh. And later on, Johnny Mnemonic says, I need a Synologic 16, a Sogo 7 data gloves, a GPL stealth module, 1 Birdie intelligent translator, and Thomson iPhones. iPhones? In 1995, he asks for iPhones.
Yeah, do you know what? It's the
the
thing
VR
that,
headset.
It's the VR headset.
Yeah.
But everybody, and also the all of the what are they called? The things, the writing
Captions.
on the bottom. Yeah, they were like, oh, it's an iPhone.
Yeah, they spell it with an I instead of
Yeah.
EYE. But isn't that weird? So
Yeah.
strange.
There's a lot of things. However, later on, the Ice T does say like, "Oh, get your VCRs ready, everybody,
Yeah.
to record like the information that he's got."
Oh my god. It's mad, isn't it? So mad.
Ugh.
So yeah, all this data is encoded in his brain. It's all downloaded into his brain. And they take 3 pictures of the TV, 3 stills of the TV broadcast, and that will act as a code
Right.
to
right.
unlock the data on the
Which is
other end.
clever, isn't it?
And then they say, we're going to fax this.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it's Beijing. Maybe they still use faxes there. They do in Japan, right?
In 1995 or in
In 2021.
Oh, in 2021. I was like, what? But then sorry. I think some places still use faxes, right?
Japan does, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if China does.
I think probably.
I mean, I guess it has its uses.
He puts his retainer in and then he says, "Hit me," and then they press play on the minidisc player.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it's a mini disc. That's the most high-tech thing in this movie.
Brilliant. They do look really cool, though.
China wants to phase out the tech entirely. The country's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology recently announced that it's going to stop issuing network access permits for certain older technologies.
So they were still using faxes.
They were. That's correct.
Yeah.
That's true.
There we go. So they start sending the fax, but it takes forever because it's like dialing up, trying to connect. And Johnny's having like a freak out and has like a mild sort of seizure thing in the bathroom. The really fancy bathroom.
He has a
in this
panic
hotel.
attack.
Yeah.
And you know
How
what?
does he calm himself down?
Tai Chi, apparently.
He does Tai Chi!
Yeah, but to be honest, I wrote down this is what I do when I'm having a panic attack.
Or
Like,
when you're
I
bleeding
literally
from your
have-
nose.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, I had a nosebleed the other day as well. But like when I would have panic attacks, I'd stand in the bathroom and I'd do my breathing and like push my arms out, and make sure that I could feel them and stuff.
So you weren't actually doing Tai Chi, but
I didn't know it was Tai Chi. You know,
right.
but
You invented Tai Chi.
I invented
independent.
I invented panic attacks. All right, don't
That's
come at me.
The only
incredible.
two people in this world that can do it. Booth and Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah, Johnny Bubonic.
Johnny
Ironic.
Johnny Platonic.
So it's a good job this happens because the Yakuza break into the apartment and there's a guy with a laser whip. A whole bunch of people get gunned
fucking
down.
cool.
Just shit just goes down. And before the fax kind of goes through, Johnny is like attacked someone with a gun and tries to snatch the pics out of this machine. But he only snatches like one of the pictures, which is unfortunate because he needs all three. And the Yakuza have got the other part, but a scientist dude, one of the nerds, tried to like burn it.
One of the nerds.
So it's slightly burned. Well, we don't really know. We don't know that they're scientists at this point. We know that they're nervous nerds.
I loved them. When he walked in. So and he was like, it was his contract. Then he meets them all. And he says, "You don't look like my usual clients." I was like, "Is he being fucking racist?"
Oh my god, no! Because he's used to dealing with like really
Criminals.
professional. Yeah, basically criminals.
But I thought he was just being really racist. I was like, "Hang on a minute."
Oh my god,
Oh dear.
Johnny never would. He never would.
Did you like his disguise when he manages
Loved
to
it.
escape from the Yakuza?
Loved it. So
Loved
good.
it.
Yeah.
Can you describe this disguise?
So, he grabs like a hat, and the hat is that of a chauffeur, like a chauffeur hat, but it has a wig attached around the edges. It's like a fucking Lord Farquaad haircut. He's just got this long dweeby hair.
Yeah.
But he wears it for about 15 seconds or something. I mean, right? It's
Yeah.
weird. I guess he just needed to get out of the hotel.
Yeah, it's just long enough to get off the elevator and get out of the hotel and fuck off.
Such a funny looking outfit, honestly. Like, good lord. But even before that, when there was like that showdown happening, and that guy that uses that like laser whip, I guess.
Do
Yeah.
you know the name of that character, G-Star Games?
I don't know the name of any character in this movie
The
other
name
than
of-
Johnny.
The name of the laser whip guy is Shinji.
Oh yes, I did make a note of that at the end.
Evangelion reference.
Yeah.
Question mark?
That's the only time I paid attention to any character name. 'Cause
Did
I
you
heard
do the
Shinji.
Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the TV?
I did.
meme?
I did. I
Right.
clicked and I pointed and I said, "Get in the fish tank, Shinji."
Very
and-
good.
Yeah, but other than that and Johnny, don't know the name of anyone else.
Right.
I did the Leonardo DiCaprio meme when Orbital came on in the club, and then Henry Rollins was there.
There's Henry Rollins' band on the soundtrack as
Yeah,
well.
there is.
Which is probably like very forgettable track.
He's such an angry man, is Henry Rollins. He's
He
good
is.
at acting angry.
So what you just said there is you said he's good at acting, but then he did add angry at the end. He'll either play like a thug or a nerd.
He likes to do both. He likes to be a thuggy nerd, and that's what he is in this film. He's
Yeah.
a doctor who is also a fucking thug because he's not supposed to be doctoring.
He doesn't really act like a thug in this film, though,
He's
does
just got
he?
a big, thick neck.
Well,
Probably.
he can't help that. That's how Jesus made him.
There's so many like he reminded me. You'll probably recognize this booth. He reminded me of Vic in Cyberpunk.
Yes. Well, so I was going to mention all of the
Cyberpunk
the similarities.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cyberpunk is a video game. And I guess it ties into the end question of would it make a good video game?
Yeah.
You can fucking tell that they were like, I love that film, Johnny Mnemonic. Right?
Well, I mean, it's more William Gibson as a whole.
Yeah.
Who was the screenwriter of this film and whose short story it's based off of.
But you could tell the makers of Cyberpunk were like, oh, well, we'll just take the ideas from it because they've got fucking Keanu Reeves in it anyway.
Yeah.
And then they've all got the implants going on, and Vic is the character in it, who is like a body shop. He runs a body shop. He does your implants. He fixes you up. He does your upgrades, and there's like he's the guy that you go to sort you out, basically. And he even looks similar to, from what I remember. I haven't played Cyberpunk in a little bit, but
and you have face blindness, but I think you're not too.
He does look like Vic, from Cyberpunk. Like it's especially when he has like the glasses on and he's got like the tattoos and stuff. I was like, that is.
So yeah, there's a lot of similarities in general. You get these implants to like improve.
Yes.
To improve yourself, and Keanu Reeves in this film has his memory implant. His memory implant is disguised as an implant for his dyslexia, so that it can get past the TSA checks at airports and stuff.
Which is so fucking what the fuck.
TSA didn't exist. Oh, in 95, but this is 2021.
It's 2021, so it absolutely did. You've got.
So did 9/11 happen in this?
Yeah.
In this universe, right? Okay. Good. Just checking it off. That
good.
And the Cars universe.
Good.
Yeah. Because like he has to get back to Newark to take the info, so he has to get on a plane because they're giving him a first class plane ticket, which is very nice of him. And he gets a body scan, and they're like, "Oh, we've detected that you've got an implant in your brain, the robot thing, and it's fine because it's government approved. It's for dyslexia."
Yeah, I mean, it's not fine.
They do say you are experiencing some seepage.
Yeah.
And your brain is a bit full, so you need to go see a doctor.
You've got 24 hours to live.
Yeah. I'd be grateful if every time I went somewhere, they were like, hang on a minute, you're suffering from a hernia. Go to a doctor. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
You were a little too quick on the on that one. Hernia. Where did that come from?
Hernia. It usually comes from your intestines.
Yeah. You know, you can have a testicular one. You can have a stomach
umbilical.
one. You can have a bunch of them. Yeah.
It's just where your intestines start poking out through places they're not supposed to go.
That's fucked up.
It is fucked up. And you get like a mesh put in to hold your intestines in place. Human bodies are fucking gross.
They are gross. Really.
Yeah. Agreed.
So Johnny has to go back to Newark, and he's gonna kick off at Udo Kier, isn't he? At some point.
Yeah.
I forget why he ended up back at that warehouse with Jay Boner.
Jay Boner?
Yeah, that's what
because he was looking for. He was looking.
Who the fuck is Jay Boner?
Ice-T.
His name's Jay Bone.
Oh, Ice-T.
She's saying Jay Boner. So I think
because it's funny.
Johnny goes there to meet up with the guy who's meant to do that procedure for him, but then that warehouse is like close by to this club, I guess.
I have no fucking idea. Like I don't know whether I looked away or like because he was in a car talking to Udo Kier, and then he gets out and there's a warehouse, and then there's Bald Man there again. And then J-Bone starts shooting him.
Oh, he sold them out. He sold them out. That's right. I think I remember now. So I think he said, yeah, go to this building and, I'll help you or whatever. But then
you skipped ahead a couple of scenes. That threw me off.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Because there's like a scene where he's in a club and then that woman's like, I want to be your bodyguard. And then there's like a whole
she's
weird...
a bit shit.
Yeah, she's got NAS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jane has NAS.
Yes.
Which is this nerve disorder caused by...
Too much internet.
The internet, basically. The best thing about that scene is when Udo Kier and the lady he's with lick tongues, like their tongues.
I hated it.
Yeah, it's awful scene.
They have fucking great makeup though.
They do. They really do. I like
real
her outfit.
Drag queen style makeup, contouring, just
beautiful contouring,
beautiful lines.
Yes.
There is also a scene where Shinji reports to the big boss man, and he says that he's going to bring back the courier's cryogenically frozen head.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the plan, is to cut off Johnny's head, freeze it, and then bring it back, and then they can get the data out of his head.
Yeah.
So when Johnny goes to meet his contact, who he actually knows quite well...
Yeah.
The contact has set him up because the guy is there with the fucking saw, ready to saw Johnny's fucking head off and freeze it.
Yeah. And the guy with the cowboy get up as well.
That's his contact. The cowboy dude.
The cowboy
black
dude.
Guy.
Right. I going back to the hotel scene. I just remembered the line of his where he says, "Double cheese anchovies." When he like bursts into the room and he's holding up the fucking suitcase, and I was like, that.
He's trying to be funny.
But his line
didn't work.
None of the I don't think there's like a single point in this movie where I think that's some good acting, other than when
the big rant.
Yes,
about room service.
Yes,
that's fantastic.
I fucking loved it.
That is fantastic.
So the one thing I will say about this film is that there are a lot of really good lines in it.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to quote.
There's a fantastic one when the guy with the saw goes chasing after Keanu because he uses like a Bond gadget to get away, causes like an explosion, and he runs off, and then the saw guy says, "I want you to do something for me. Say bye."
Oh my god!
Like it's a bad line, but it's a funny line.
No, one of my favorites was "Halt, sinners!" and then
it's Jesus time.
It's Jesus time.
Dolph Lundgren's just fucking insane in this.
Yeah.
Insane. Oh my god! Are we just gonna keep saying lines that we liked?
Sure. I mean, there's not like a shitload, but there's a few.
I have to get online is what Johnny says to Jane. I have to get online. I wrote me every morning.
He's like desperate. He's like shaking, like he's got withdrawals
I have to
from
get
being on the
online.
internet.
And then I need a computer. I'm like, same.
I like it when he says, "Wait a minute, have you done this before? Has the fish?"
You even sound like Johnny the way you've delivered those lines.
I tried.
You don't have to try hard because neither does he, to be honest.
Oh, damn, harsh. When Shinji says, "Raise your chin, let's make this clean," when he's going to cut his head off using the laser whip.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Very.
So cold.
That fucking whip is really fucking brutal. Like, it slices and dices through things without any...
It sliced Udo Kier's arm off, didn't it?
Oh, that was amazing.
It sliced him in, like, 3 parts.
Yes,
it was like, Jesus
I love the
Christ.
moment where he looks down when it happens as well. I was like, that's... Okay.
And it's And it's right after Udo Kier says, "You almost hit me with that thing. What are you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Fuck. Okay, so vaguely, where were we?
He goes to this. They go to this club and they ambush him. And they're gonna cut his head
Johnny
off.
confronts Ralphie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and he Ralphie's bodyguard throws Johnny against like a toilet cubicle door, and he's like, "Not on the head! Not tell me you didn't hit him on the head!"
No, the funny part about that is the actual filming of how his head face plants into it. Like focuses on Johnny like face planting into it, but like in a way that they get him to sit at a certain distance, and they go, "Okay, 3, 2, 1, okay, face plant," and he just sort of like leans into it.
Well, they can't risk hurting Keanu's big, beautiful face, can they?
True, I guess.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
They don't want to actually smash actors in the face, which is
Bad for
pussy
business.
Bad
Wow.
pussy move. Fucking, if you get into acting, you should be prepared to slam your face into a toilet door over and over again until they get the shot.
Oh my god.
There's
got to be laws against that.
Well, there's quite a lot
I think
of
there is.
There's quite a lot of like actors that like do really like they do their own stunts and stuff.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is nuts for it.
Yeah.
He's Cocoa Puffs for doing his own
Of course,
stuff.
Frank Spencer did his own stunts when he was on the roller skates, holding onto the back of the bus.
Jackie Chan loves doing it.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan's whole thing is, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this legit, and I'm going to break my arms doing it, and it's going to be fucking great.
Yeah.
I love watching like clips and gifs of him just like leaping over fences or gates or jumping over a wall. Because he does it so gracefully in like one fluid motion.
Do you know at the end of his movies, in like the credits, they'll show him like trying to get the shot right.
Yeah,
so he'll be like burning his hands on a rope, and he's like hopping around. It's like in the blooper reel, they're like, here's Jackie Chan fucking rupturing his spleen on a car, and he can't get his English right because he doesn't speak English very well. He just like parrots the lines.
Yeah,
he was never very
Jackie
good
Chan.
at speaking English, but that's fine.
Jackie Chan is one of my sister's favorite actors.
Little fact, fact.
O's fact. She loves Jackie Chan.
Unsubscribe.
They share a birthday. Jackie Chan's birthday
no
is the
way.
7th of April.
No fucking way. Oh my god. That's crazy.
Her favorite Jackie Chan film is Who Am I?
Oh no. Okay.
It's great.
Oh god. It's a bad one though. That's the thing.
Well, listen.
How's it rated?
She likes it. It's just a funny one.
Oh, okay. It's not too
it doesn't
bad.
have like terrible reviews.
67. Sure. Okay. That surprises me, honestly. So yeah, Johnny is now about to lose his head. But then it turns out Jane has been snooping. She was up in the vents, and she jumps down and has a little scuffle, and then a quick haggle ensues when Johnny says that he'll hire her. And that little haggle I really liked when she's, I think he offers her like 20,000, she's like 50,000. He's like, okay, something like that.
Yeah.
That was a funny little moment, just in the middle of like chaos.
Desperately trying to fucking like not get his head cut off, and then everyone stops just so that they can just be like, yeah, so 50,000. And I wrote down after that, you could just like when they get out of that, he could just kill her, and then you don't have to pay.
I don't know if he's a killer. Does he kill anyone in the film?
Oh.
Hits a few people.
Maybe by accident.
He does chop a guy's head off, actually. Now that I think he does cut off
okay.
hands.
Does he? I don't remember
Pretty sure he's dead.
Right.
Yeah. So he definitely does. Okay.
Okay.
But that's how you can tell he's the good guy, right?
Because he cuts a guy's head off.
Yeah.
Well, not that, but it's more that he doesn't have a high sort of body count. He doesn't just kill people for the heck of it. He'd rather run away. There's a lot of him just running away from people in the film.
Well, he's not. He's a courier. He's not a trained assassin.
He's not Neo.
Yeah, God.
Well, he is, but he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, not yet. Not for 4 years.
Dun dun dun.
So all right, we got it's kind of the elephant in the room, right? Comparing this to The Matrix and comparing the CG of this film,
Jesus
which
Christ.
at times is on the par with Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, okay, so Lawnmower Man did it better as well.
And
which is
comparing
shocking.
it to The Matrix, which the Matrix budget was only just over twice as much as this film. I think something like 26 million versus 62 or something or other. I guess all of that money was spent on CG, which I guess makes sense. But just 4 years difference. It's mad comparing the two.
There were like one of the shots of the city in Beijing at the beginning was just fucking awful, like really bad. And then I guess when he was like in the internet, I guess any of those moments was interesting.
Do you know, I actually really liked it because it's nice and retro. It fits this weird experience that looks nothing like the real world. It looks just like this weird technological just insanity that a normal person just would have no idea what the
insanity. Blip 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 blip. It's Jamiroquai. He's future. Do you know when Jamiroquai wrote that song and his virtual insanity?
Unsubscribe.
It was the 90s, right? The virtual insanity he was on about was fucking the worst mobile phones you could get, and like fax machines and emails. Like that's him. He was going.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Yeah. We do have the a weird scene with the big boss man, and a strange sort of computery AI lady appears on his screen and tries to talk to him.
Oh yeah.
And he kind of ignores her.
As you should.
And I think we see her briefly before this. But that's a weird thing, and we don't know quite what the deal is with her.
What's the deal with this lady?
Worth mentioning. Because she's a character that generally doesn't really do anything, and then at the end it turns out she was actually quite important and key to a lot of stuff. There's a moment where the low-techs come and save Johnny and Jane before they go down to like the sewers or subway, right? And there's a young kid, and he looks just like a young Ed Sheeran.
Uh-huh.
I mean Ginger.
Yeah. But he looks a lot like Ed Sheeran, and it just, when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck?
Maybe it was him.
That's the thing I was thinking, like, how long ago was this? How old would Ed Sheeran have been at this time? Was he in this film? That would be crazy, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't actually him. It was just a ginger kid. Yeah.
I think it was
Ginger
just...
kids look the same.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's true. Simon looks exactly like every other ginger kid that I know.
True. Is this when Johnny has like a seizure? Oh, Jane is like flashing a torch in his eyes. And he has like a seizure. So I think she's at least partially responsible for that. And he has to have a bit of a sort of a sit down and a rest.
He has to have a sit down.
Just
God,
a rest.
Have a little sit down, mate.
We'll just move through this quickly, right? And unless there's something you want to talk about, and then interrupt, okay?
Okay.
Johnny breaks into like this tech shop because he needs a computer and he needs to get on the internet.
I need the computer!
I need to get on the internet! I need an iPhone! It's that scene.
It's that scene.
And he gets into cyberspace. He's on the internet with his VR helmet, and he hacks into the hotel he was at, where the nerds were, to find out where this fax was sent to. And it's just a random copy shop, which I guess is kind of like an internet cafe type place, I guess.
It's a copy shop.
But it's a
By the way,
copy
it says
shop.
it. Good.
There's a data buffer which could have held the whole image for this code to get this thing out of his head, but the data buffer is completely empty. The fax never went through at all. But he does get a name, and the name is Dr. Allcome.
Yes, I knew that this was going to happen. I knew we were going to talk about Dr. Allcome.
G-Star Games, how did you react?
I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't hear it as come. I heard it like as something else.
You don't just hear it, you see it. It's written on screen. Dr. Allcome.
Oh.
And there's a reason why that name is used.
Go on.
Well, we find out later when Spider reveals.
Oh no,
there's
no,
actually
I knew that part, but like,
yeah,
I didn't like clock onto any of the commonology. I don't know. Like I was more distracted by the fucking sounds of a car being locked and unlocked.
Blip, 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 blip. The stock sound effects in this film were absolute fucking garbage.
That's what cyberspace sounds like.
It sounds like a car being unlocked over and over again.
Yes, that's just what it sounds like.
So when I saw Dr. Al come, I was like, yeah, that's whatever. But I didn't go, haha, come. I don't know.
All come.
Haha, come.
Yeah.
I do. I think I was like, G-Star will love this, and she didn't even fucking.
I didn't.
Unbelievable.
I guess it was a long week. I was cummed out by the time I watched this.
Jesus Christ.
She was all cummed out.
Yeah.
So obviously Johnny needs to get a hold of Allcome.
Yeah.
But the Yakuza, they send this virus through to Johnny. And he's oblivious to this happening, but not for long. He reaches out to a friend of his. I think it's called Strike. And Strike says the line, "Get off my board, man. You're too hot." And Johnny threatens to hack him, and he does threatening motions with his hands, like he's about to cast a spell.
He's doing the wanker motion.
Yeah. I mean, during this scene, I just put, sheesh, it's the Nintendo Power Glove he's gaming.
He is wearing the power gloves.
They've got power gloves, honestly. Right?
It's so, I love it. I fucking love this shit so much. How janky the fucking internet looks. How that weird guy's pixelated face looks.
Yeah.
With his very far apart eyes.
Well, I love how he was Keanu's character was saying, "Oh, I need to get in. Oh, I need to get." I'm like, well, you can't get in if you keep locking and unlocking your car keys, Keanu.
Oh my God.
Can't get in.
Oh Jesus. So, Johnny learns from this guy that the data that's stored in his brain belongs to Pharmacom, which is this mega corporation. And they've hired the Yakuza to get this data back one way or the other. And then the virus hits him. We have another brief sort of flash of this AI, weird, ghostly image of this lady, which is a lot like the, in Borderlands, when that voice speaks to you and you see the face. It's a lot like that, right?
Yeah, the woman. Yeah.
They're called oracles or whatever the fuck they're called.
I think so, yeah. I think you're right. It's very reminiscent of that. Just some woman looking all ethereal, like a fan's blowing on her, and she's sprouting some fucking bullshit to you. That makes no sense.
Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, Jane throws a grenade and they escape the Yakuza incredibly easily, yet again.
Mm-hmm.
And the big boss is sick of his guys fucking up. And he makes a phone call to the Church of the Retransfiguration.
I was wondering when that church was gonna come into this because it was like imagery and like stuff about it near the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, oh, is this gonna be important or?
Well, it's not really. But
True.
But it does come up here. It's basically a cover for this crazy guy, this preacher, the street preacher, or Cyber Jesus, played by Dolph Lundgren. As he is insane, and he is like augmented and up to his tits. He is a superhuman. He's described as being more machine than man, basically. And he's got beautiful long hair. He looks like a tramp, and he's a psychopathic badass.
Yeah, I get like a sort of ominous vibe from him for sure. And I thought he was going to be a lot scarier, a lot more like unhinged, right? The sort of vibe that he gave off. But he seemed, he was kind of unhinged, but not.
Yeah, just a little bit. just a little. It's Jesus time.
Is not as bad as Shinji's.
Do you remember when he got
character.
hit by the car?
Yeah, that was great. And everyone was like, who was that? Don't worry about it. Just keep driving.
Did he say halt in the name of the Lord when he's standing there on the road?
No, he said halt sinners, which is
halt sinners.
Fucking amazing. I took that down
Crazy,
immediately.
Man. So Johnny, he directly contacts Pharmacom and reaches out to a guy, and he's like, how do you get this number? You shouldn't have this number. And Johnny's like, oh, cut the bullshit. I've got this data in my brain. Let's meet up. Which, going directly to them, trying to cut out the Yakuza after him, sure.
Yeah.
And Jane says, no, don't go to them. Spider, my friend, can get this out of your head. Ah! And then she just has a seizure herself due to her NAS, her NAS.
Her acting in that bit was absolutely
terrible.
Diabolical.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Dina Meyer, this is her first film role.
Oh, shit.
Starship Troopers, Space Truckers, right? Was that her in Space Truckers? I think it was.
Yeah, her just flailing and like whipping her head back and forth, and I'm like, that is not convincing at all.
That's just what NES looks like. It looks like real bad acting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Johnny is kind of forced. His hand is forced. He has to take her to Spider. Even though he's keen to meet Pharmacom. We learn that the street preacher, the crazy Jesus, Space Jesus, is an assassin. The low-techs are like spying on him, and they pretty much look directly into the camera and say, this guy is an assassin. It's not a subtle
no
bit of dialogue for us.
No.
And the big boss guy of the Yakuza learns that this AI lady was the former CEO of Pharmacom who got uploaded into their Zurich network as a kind of like virtual assistant. So she's dead, but her mind is now part of cyberspace.
That's how I want to be. That's how I want to exist.
If we could do that for Sophie, just upload her.
Please, because I'm having a right fucking morning. Ah, it's an afternoon now as well.
Yeah.
Cat's been sick on the bed. Cat's been sick on the bed.
My God.
Cracked open a Foster's.
Oh, yeah. Jesus, you need a special brew at least.
Yeah. So I had to go put some washing in. I haven't even cleaned that up, but I wanted my other sheets done.
Right.
Man, and then the postie came. I've got
in case you were wondering why Sophie was quiet for the last 10 minutes.
For the tax, something from the tax office.
Oh no.
That's terrifying.
That's always terrifying.
So we kind of know who this weird AI ghost in the machine lady is.
I love that phrase. Ghost in the machine. Such a nice, cool phrase.
Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
It's from, isn't it? Which is God in the machine.
Oh.
Spider, Henry Rollins, looks after Jane. Do you know Jane? She was originally Molly in this. Her character.
Her character's name was Molly.
She's a kind of a bigger character in William Gibson's sort of like cyberpunk universe.
See?
But I think they renamed her because they thought if he was going to have like a trilogy of movies about, Molly and such, then they wouldn't want her to be confused with this character. But of course that never happened, so it doesn't matter. They basically renamed her for like no good reason.
They gave her a really boring name as well. Jane and John.
Oh.
What is? Give people interesting names.
What's a good cyberpunk name, Sophie?
Alfred, Barnaby, Quentin.
That's terrible.
Tarquin. For
Just old
ladies,
men
if you're a
names.
lady, you want to be Bridget,
Iris.
Ethel, Edna. Bring back the old names. Come on, we can do this.
They are coming back. Iris is a big VTuber.
Keith's actually here. What are you sniffling at, bubba boy? Bubba boy.
You got any input in this, Keith?
Keith, he's just looking at me.
Okay.
Menacingly. Oh, his little thumb. Right, he's standing on the desk with his little thumbs hanging off the desk. You are disgusting. Oh, you are so weird. You horrible little potato man.
So, Spider scans Johnny's brain, and he knows that there's some serious shit going on, but he doesn't really let it on. And they drive away in their van to go to the hospital, to try and get hold of this doctor, Dr. Allcome. And whilst they're driving, Dolph Lundgren's character, the Cyber Jesus, just stands in the middle of the road, says, what was it, G?
Halt, sinners.
Halt, sinners, and then gets hit by the truck.
Fucking based, honestly.
I love a buff cyber
So funny.
Jesus.
Oh my god. He's such a crazy character.
He's great. He's
He is
honestly
great.
great.
They arrive at the hospital and it's awful. I put in my notes, this is how Americans think socialized healthcare is like.
Well, I put NAS-NHS question mark.
Oh my god!
My god. It's rammed full of people. The fucking lights aren't on. Everyone's fucking like dying and moaning. There's a little bit of dialogue, I think, from Spider that says that the Pharmacon is selling treatment for NES, but it's like $2,000 a dose, I think he says. But it's very quiet dialogue.
Right.
They're not selling any cure, but they're selling an expensive treatment.
Right.
And this is quite important, but it's like a throwaway, easy to miss line.
I missed it because
It's really weird. So Spider explains there is no Dr. Allcome.
It's just a
Spider
name.
is a doctor working at this hospital for the NAS Underground, treating people. He explains Dr. Allcome is an emergency code. It's asking for all doctors to come. Not like that, G. Not like that. Not CUM. What is going on? Is this Sophie? What are you doing?
I'm just opening my post. I've got a Lego flower bouquet in the post.
Like a Valentine's one.
Oh, yeah, it could be Valentine's based. I forgot it was Valentine's Day and some chocolate, so...
Oh.
I don't know who it's from.
Oh.
There's a card here.
Don't say who it's from.
It's a secret admirer.
There we are.
It's Keith. Keith, did you get me chocolates, you bugger? I never thought you cared, you little man.
Bless him.
He does care. He does love me, see?
He certainly does.
Actually, he didn't want me to get out of bed this morning because he was under the duvet. He likes to get under my legs, under the duvet, because it's warm.
Because of all the farts, yeah.
It's very, very smelly down there, Keith.
Dutch
I
oven.
don't want to...
Get in there, son. Get in there. It do stink, but it's nice and warm.
Oh,
love
well,
it
he
down
doesn't
there, son.
mind. He doesn't really mind, which is
Because you
nice.
stink, don't you, son?
He does stink. Actually, he's such a clean little
Oh.
guy. Like, Brenda and Candace are the stinky ones. Candace does, like, human scented farts. I've never known a cat actually smell so much like a person before.
Oh God.
And Brenda just smells like Brenda smelled bad. Oh, she smelled bad. Love my cats.
Yeah, bless them. Bless their hearts.
Bless their little hearts.
So yeah, this data that's in Johnny's brain was meant for these doctors. Dr. Allcome, being these people that treat NAS. Spider scans Johnny's brain, and he says that he should operate to remove this implant because the data is very, very important. However, Johnny will lose some of his fine motor skills and have like a 3-minute memory. He'll just forget, like Memento, I guess. He'll just forget.
Oh yeah,
like a goldfish.
Yeah,
goldfish memory. He then reveals that this data that Johnny is holding in his brain is Pharmacom's secret cure for NAS.
Gasp.
They've been holding off from releasing to the public because they're selling this treatment instead.
Mm.
And if they sell the cure, that's a one-time purchase with the treatment, you know?
Mm.
It's like when you buy a video game versus online services and like a subscription. So it's easier for people to understand in terms of video games. So yeah, millions of people could be saved if Johnny shares this data and takes the sacrifice. But Johnny doesn't want this, and he's about to just walk out, but then fucking Cyber Jesus arrives on the scene and just starts kicking ass. Some guy flies in on a stretcher with like a fucking dagger in his chest. Johnny and Jane scarper off yet again. Spider yells out saying, you know, find Jones! Jones! Get Jones! And then fucking Cyber Jesus sticks scalpels through the palms of his hand. Like he's almost like he's being crucified, which...
Did you mention why Cyber Jesus is the way he is?
Why he's a psychopath? Or why he's so badass?
I don't even know.
Is it because of all the implants?
Both. So basically, he is addicted to getting implants.
He's
and
a cyber psycho.
He will take any
like
amount...
from Cyberpunk.
Like from Cyberpunk. He will take any job because it gives him money to get more implants. And that's why he is basically the way he is. It's why he's so badass. It's why he's so fucking crazy.
And... Like you look like a fuck cuck of...
You do look like a fuck cook.
Fresh... A fresh cuck.
Stop! A fresh cut of fuckable meat, I think, he says.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Seriously.
Nobody's from Cyberpunk.
Come.
Oh, yeah,
what makes you a
Recoil,
criminal in Night City? Come.
That was the song that Wargasm were on.
Oh.
A version of Recoil.
Oh,
that song. Sorry, I was struggling to remember what that was in a previous conversation with G-Star
I struggle
Games.
to remember everything all the time.
Did you have a data implant that was removed by Spider?
Yeah, I think I probably had something that was removed from my brain and they didn't just put anything back in there, you know.
Have you lost some of your fine motor skills as well?
I've lost a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Thing is, you wouldn't remember if you'd been operated on and had it removed. Fuck.
I mean,
That's
I know
scary.
that I'm fucked up in some way, right?
Well, we all are, aren't we? Some more than others, but we all are. So, Johnny talks to his contact at Pharmacom saying, sorry I didn't meet up with you earlier. I definitely will this time. And it's revealed that it's the fucking big boss of the Yakuza with like a virtual puppet.
This made me
pretending
laugh.
to be the guy.
Oh, that...
So fucking
like
stupid.
a fucking hand puppet. Like he's moving his hand.
It was great. I
he's a
fucking
Muppet.
laughed. I laughed so hard at that.
Did you like when he moved his hand out of the way and the actor flopped?
Yes. It was so
You take
fucking good.
The hand got removed from his asshole, and he was just hollow and just.
It was great.
We all know
my
how that
God.
feels.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
What?
So, Johnny arrives at the low-tech base. The low-tech is Ice-T and his crew. The base is known as Heaven, not to be confused with the gay club in London.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone been to Heaven?
No.
No.
I have.
Was it good?
It was really good, actually. Really good. Yeah,
Nice.
It's a nice place. Well, it was 15 years ago, or however long it was ago. Quite near, it's near Covent Garden, Trafalgar Square. It's a nice part of London, you know?
London.
Yeah.
London.
London.
So, yeah, Jane tries to explain who Jones is, because she knows him. She says that he was in the Navy, which is hilarious.
This bit where she's going, oh yeah, he was in the Navy. Like she hams it up in this film so fucking much.
But it makes, because it's a funny moment. We don't know yet
It's
why
not
it's
a funny moment.
But later on, we find out why that's funny that she said that. She also says that he has implanted enhancements to his brain, much like Johnny has. So they're basically the same, in a way. There's these two useless, weirdo, low-tech, watchmen guards, and they decide to drop a bug on Johnny because he looks suspicious. A bug is a Volkswagen Beetle. Do you get it?
I get
bug,
the joke.
Beetle.
It's really funny.
And it falls down from quite a height and just explodes quite near him and Jane. And this is when Johnny just has had a fucking enough. He just starts ranting and raving, and this is when he yells, "I want room service! I want the club sandwich! I want the cold Mexican beer! I want a $10,000 a night hooker! I want my shirts laundered like they do at the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo."
Did he say $10,000 hooker?
Also, there's an Imperial Hotel in Blackpool, and so I'm glad that he made the distinction in Tokyo.
For 10,000, that's like 500 Blackpool prostitutes.
It's a lot. And also, the Imperial Hotel, it is the best one in Blackpool, and it fucking sucks. There is absolutely no way. Don't come to Blackpool. It's awful. Even the best hotels apparently are garbage.
So, G, when are you going to Blackpool to meet up with Sophie? Hang out, have a girls' day out.
Stay in St Anne's. If you do, St Anne's is Lytham, beautiful, very, very posh.
Lytham, it's lovely. Lytham. Never heard of Lytham in my life.
Lytham St Anne's, it's the posh bit of St Anne's.
Right.
It's where everybody thinks that they're dead posh because they live in Lytham, because everything's expensive there.
Little tea rooms, antique
it's where
shops.
the Donald Trump plays golf there. So just so you know, he's been to Blackpool before.
Really selling it. Fantastic. Yeah, Ice-T is on a lift with lights on, descends from heaven, and Johnny is not doing so good. He had his little breakdown, and now he's kind of fainted a bit. So they go back up to heaven in the lift, which I think is supposed to be symbolic in some way. More like symbolics, am I right?
Hey.
Yeah. The big boss is on his way there with his Yakuza bros. And Johnny comes too.
Yeah, comes.
And him and Jane have a quick smooch before Ice-T goes, "It's time to meet Jones."
So, of course they kiss. Of course they have a little snog.
They have to.
I fucking hate that. They didn't have to make this romantic in any way.
No, they didn't.
They didn't need to do that.
It's a Hollywood movie.
And also, nothing ever happens again.
Yeah.
Not really. I think they don't hold hands at the end.
You can hold hands platonically. Like, you can hold hands
What?
with your bros.
But that's lewd, holding hands. That's
Is
like...
it rude?
I mean, that's... What base is that? I think that's 5th base, holding hands.
Hey, get tested. I've held hands with somebody else before.
Yeah, I think it's 6th, because I think it's after anal.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Is G AFK? Because she didn't
No,
laugh
no,
at that.
no. I'm here. I'm literally
Sometimes G doesn't want to laugh about anal, Simon.
here. Yeah. I'm just
This is
listening.
the only time she's not laughed about anal.
Stop.
Unbelievable.
What's the matter, babe? You haven't laughed at my joke about anal.
I made a joke about anal. Please respond.
Oh no.
So yeah, Ice-T reveals that with Jones's help, they broadcast these really helpful messages, which are like hidden data in TV broadcasts. These like weird encoded blips go out, and it's a really nice set. It's got this weird column, this fat column with all these TV monitors on, these CRTs, and it's got a big lit up water tank for some reason next to it. Yeah, that's right. Jones is a dolphin. He was in the Navy. Did you get it now? He's a dolphin. But he was actually in the Navy. He was cybernetically enhanced so that he could hack into enemy ships using infrasound, which I don't know if that's realistic or not. Maybe it is. Maybe that's real science, and I just don't know. So yeah, this is when Johnny activates the laser whip and kills Shinji with his own weapon. He cuts his head off, and he falls down into the river. So that's at least one kill that Johnny has now. And I think they're the only one in the film. Yeah, it's horrible. It's a horrible moment. Jesus. Oh, and fucking Cyber Jesus is now here as well.
Hi, Cyber Jesus.
We never see him arriving anywhere. He just appears. Maybe he's got a teleportation implant. I don't know.
I doubt it.
But he's there to attack Jane, and this is when he says Jesus time at her.
Jesus time.
Fuck me.
He does, in fact, say that.
Are you kissing a cat, G-Star Games?
No, I just had my hand near my mouth and I said he does in fact say that.
You're kissing your own hand?
She got beautiful hand.
No, I said I
Let her
have
do it.
hand on my mouth because I am
There was a kissy sound.
No, I went like, as in, I can't be asked to explain this. I did not kiss my hand. I did not hit her. I did not.
Oh my god.
Oh, hi, Mark.
G-Star Games kisses her own hand.
Yeah.
Bear that in mind.
Yeah. 100% factual, totally legit.
The big boss, turns out he isn't quite dead, even though he's got shot through the chest a few times. He hands Johnny the second part of the code, so now Johnny has 2 of the 3 pictures. Johnny then just throws himself at Cyber Jesus, kind of gets his ass kicked.
Yeah.
But at least he saves Jane from being murdered by distracting him. And Cyber Jesus holds Johnny in this really weird way, like he's blessing him.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think he's about to cut his head off. That's why he's holding his head that way as well. Not just for the imagery. And then Jane takes the satellite dish, the little satellite dish where the infrasound thing comes from that Jones does, points it at Cyber Jesus, and Jones activates his infrasound and it shoots at Cyber Jesus and just fucking burns him to a crisp.
I really enjoyed that.
Holy fucking shit. It's like when you come home from the pub and you put something in the oven, like a pizza, but then you forget you put it there and you have a snooze. And then you come back to it 2 hours later and it looks like Dolph Lundgren in this scene. He's black and crispy. So at this point, all the baddies are dead. And Johnny's got 2 out of 3 of these decoding images. He's going to hack his own brain with Jones's help. But before he does, Ice-T broadcasts, he hacks a broadcast, and he announces to the world that the cure to NAS is coming and start your VCRs. Which seems a bit... Because they don't know if Johnny's going to succeed. He's about to do something very dangerous, and yet he's like, oh, everyone, come on, bros. I don't want to do it.
VCRs.
Yeah, it was very presumptuous to assume that it was going to succeed, but he had faith, I think.
And, and then we get some of the worst CG of the film. No, definitely the worst CG of the film. It's very, very reminiscent of Lawnmower Man. When did that fucking come
very
out?
Tron. Like the big sphere head in the middle.
Yeah.
In Tron.
Lawnmower Man was 92. 3 years earlier. Jesus.
And it looked better than this.
Yeah, it looks terrible. It looks terrible. But there is a certain charm to it, but it's really pushing it with this. So basically, virtual Keanu is there trying to get the 3rd image to decode, and AI Lady helps him, and so does Jones in virtual form swimming around in cyberspace. I can imagine this would be very difficult. Like, in screenplay format, sure. The actual visuals of this on a relatively low budget, it was very optimistic that they would pull this off, and I don't think they really did.
It was an okay job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. So we have the last image to decode, and it is just the AI lady's face.
Yeah.
Which
I thought was
I'm
pretty
not sure
cool.
if it was. I don't know if it originally was that, or whether this is just like a Joker in a card game or something.
Right. I'm not sure, because I don't remember when he was uploading it to begin with in that first
It all
sequence.
looked like sort of anime pictures.
Well, there was a lot of cartoon images. I think the first 1 or 2 were, but I don't remember if I remember seeing her face when he was uploading. So
right, gotcha.
Who knows?
So yeah, they broadcast the data directly from Johnny's brain out through the TV broadcast. They don't put it somewhere first, test the cure or anything. They just put it out there in the world.
And also, there's people at parties just looking at the telly going, right, well, what is all of this? What the fuck? What are they going to do with all of this information? The generic human being, the person, seeing all this information on a screen. Cool. Thanks. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah. But also, now that this data's all been taken out of Johnny's brain, his childhood memories are unlocked. He remembers everything. He remembers his 7th birthday. He remembers his mummy. His mummy, who is the AI lady, the former CEO and founder of Pharmacom, was his mother.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I didn't even clock onto that, because his mom kind of looks like the woman.
Oh my God.
Kind of looks like Jane. So I was like, wait.
I mean, we're looking up her nose half the time. So, I mean...
Okay, that's fair enough. So that was like the final sort of plot twist of the film. That his mother was the lady. Yeah.
G loved that. G fucking loves that. Yeah. That makes me happy.
So what were the odds that her son would become a courier and transfer data in his brain, smuggling it, and that he would have the cure for NAS created by her company? It feels a bit... Oh, whatever. Anyway. We see fucking burnt cyber Jesus fucking moves. His body on the floor starts moving.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my god, it's like the Terminator. He's alive. Oh no, it's just people moving his dead body and they toss it into the river.
They say, get this garbage out of here.
Get this garbage out of here. Throw it in the river where it belongs. And then, is that racist to do an Ice-T voice?
It sounded American to me. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, it was a little fake out at the end, and then Johnny and Jane hold hands and they just look out into the dark.
It's so, yeah, but it's obviously in front of a green screen, which drives me mad. You can see the green around them.
It's a weird fucking ending, isn't it? It's
a bad ending.
A strange film, a strange ending.
Oof.
So yeah, that's all, folks. Final thoughts. As I said, I've watched this several times.
Why? Why?
Well, it's part of that early wave of cyberpunk when it was just about hitting the mainstream. Like it was the early 80s when William Gibson sort of invented cyberpunk and the term cyberspace and everything. Yeah, we got all that. There's loads of his short stories and everything. They all tie together. And I just think it's a very influential kind of thing. Like, well, William Gibson more than Johnny Mnemonic. But it's certainly, even the film has an impact. You know, with The Matrix, which is the film that really was the big hit. And of course you have Cyberpunk relatively recently, all with Keanu Reeves in.
He likes his, dystopian cyber in the internet themed type stuff. I guess he's really into it.
Yeah. I mean, I think most of the practical effects were very good, and a lot of the sets were fantastic. Right. I think it's quite a good-looking film. If you ignore the CG, you can say it's a good-looking film, I think.
Yeah.
And even with the CG, a lot of it has that retro feel, like N64 style graphics.
Yeah.
How we thought the future would be. And I find it charming. And Dolph Lundgren was amazing as like this insane fucking cybernetic Jesus character. I guess this is one of my guilty pleasure films. I didn't want to bring it up when we discussed guilty pleasures on the bonus episode of YOMP, which patrons can hear at some point. I still give it 7.5 out of 10 because I enjoy it so much. And the concept of it is amazing. And it almost pulls it off, but it I don't think it does quite manage it. It's a very ambitious film, very ambitious, and I don't think it quite gets there. But yeah, I give it a high score because I just have this love. Maybe other people will agree with me. I don't think my co-hosts will, but I guess we'll see. Who wants to go next?
I'd like G-Star to go next.
Okay.
Okay. I think there's a lot that it did, like, well. Like, a lot of the set was very, like, fleshed out and very detailed. It didn't feel like it was, like, not thought out, I guess. Like, when they went to that place in the warehouse at the end where the Dolphin is, with this, like, this set of stacked TVs and the hotel, and there's a lot of sets and places that they go to, and it feels, like, good, and it feels well thought out and stuff like that, and, like, the costume designs and all that kind of stuff. CG was, a bit lacking, but was okay for the most part. Kind of funny. It's very camp, very it's an okay film, I think. It's okay. It's fun. I know what it was trying to achieve. But I can't.
Did you find this an easy watch, or was it a struggle to get through it?
It was okay for being 1 hour 37. It did weirdly feel longer than an hour and 37. I don't know why.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it's an okay film. I think it definitely feels like a guilty pleasure. You know, if you've sort of like watched it way back when and you sort of enjoy watching it, rewatching it here and there, like in today's day and age. It feels like a 5 for me. It feels like
a 5.
an okay film. It's definitely not a bad film. Like I said, it did some things right. I did find that the story fairly sort of intriguing as well. Yeah, I think it's an alright film. It's alright.
I thought you'd score it less. So a 5 coming from G-Star Games is pretty good for this film.
Yeah. I was bordering between 4 and 5, but I feel like 5 is, I think it's the sweet spot.
Thank you. I think it's because Keanu Reeves was in it. If he wasn't, it would be a 4.
Yeah, I just like he can't.
You don't like him.
I love him. That's the funny thing.
Okay.
I love Keanu Reeves, but my God, the more older films I see of him, his inability to like not act, it's astounding.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wait, are you disagreeing that he can act?
He can a little.
Yeah.
He can a little.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, a little bit, but not
Point Break, right? I think he was pretty good in Point Break, even though he is still playing Keanu Reeves, basically. But it works very well for the role. I think he was perfectly cast in that role because he just acts like a bro in it, so he kind of fits in to go undercover. I say he acts like a bro, it's just Keanu
him.
Reeves speaking.
Yeah, it's just him. I love him. I really do. And I think he's such a lovely soul. And I think he, you know, from the stuff that I've seen of him in his personal life, seems like a great guy. And I do weirdly find him, like, even though I don't think he can act that well, I still enjoy him on screen very much. But there's something about his acting that is just like, what the fuck? You know, like him and Bram Stoker's Dracula. Jesus Christ, you know?
God. Yeah.
But I love him. There's something about him. It doesn't matter what. I love seeing him on screen. He's a joy.
Same.
He's a joy, and I don't know why. But yeah.
Okay.
That's me.
Thank you, G-Star Games. Sophie, you all right?
Yep.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still jamming out to Orbital, to be honest.
Okay.
I've been listening to Orbital the whole time.
That's good. You're in your happy place.
Yeah, you've got to do anything to get you through this sort of thing. How accurately do you think it represented 2021 as well? Virus, check. iPhone, check. VR, check. Dolphins, check.
Dolphins, yeah, they're
now,
the thing. Yeah.
Fax machines, VCRs.
Dolphin or
CRT monitors.
Or Dolph Lundgren.
Dolphin Lundgren.
Oh my God! Do you think he auditioned for the role of Jones?
I hope he did.
Definitely.
I hope he did.
And they were like, actually, we're going to have a different kind of Dolph. Sorry.
Oh my God! Dolph Lundgren was the bodyguard and then boyfriend of Grace Jones.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Jones.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Crazy.
So it was a film I felt depressed after watching.
Wow.
It was a film that happened, but it's one of those films that I finished watching and immediately it's gone. It's gone.
Oh
Bye.
no.
Bye, film. Goodbye.
Oh.
My life hasn't been enriched in any way because of you.
Oh, no,
Goodbye,
you
film.
can't compare it to Ocean's 11. Fuck off. Please.
It's a 90s film, and they all feel the same to me. And it was just like, it didn't really do much.
So Simon, how does it feel?
I just remembered that Sophie sent me a bar of Dairy Milk Black Forest chocolate, and I'm actually okay with it.
Okay.
I'm bribing him now. Every time I'm going to start sending G some nice treats. Every time she has a
Every
film.
time you say, I'm going to get a lot of treats there.
You're going to get so many treats, do you, sir?
Do I get a treat?
I just feel like it's just like, oh, I don't know, man. I gave it 3 out of 10, and I wrote down.
Oh, fuck!
Because it wasn't a good film.
Holy
it's
shit!
Below average, in my opinion.
Fuck
the graphics
me.
were scary and stupid looking.
This is the same score you gave Ocean's 11. Not only are you saying the same things about it, you're giving it the same score.
It just felt the same in a way. It felt. It's a film. If I was a 14-year-old boy in the 90s, I'd have been like, yeah, this is fucking great. I love this. Can't wait for the future, man. Can't wait to get implants, be cyber Jesus. And
that's literally me. That's
I don't have any nostalgia attached to this film. And listen, I made the effort. I could have left that horrible tape on. I could have left the VHS on and go, well, it's too dark to even look at.
I think it definitely tried, though. Like, it definitely did try, and I think it did do a few things right. But
I don't think it really tried that hard.
Really?
I don't know. I felt like it was wafer thin. It was tissue paper.
Ow.
It had a pretty small budget.
Yeah, but even on a tiny budget, like things, it just felt really floppy. Like there was some things that were like the lines were funny, some of them, and there was Dolph Lundgren as Cyber Jesus, which was cool. And I mean, I really enjoy Cyberpunk, the game. So it's not the content that is the problem, not the ideas that are the problem.
It's the presentation and the execution.
I was confused half the time by
You always are, though, Sophie.
I know, but like it was just like it was like they were trying to blur things together. Like, well, we don't need to explain that. Just blur it. Just rub that together. Here we go. It's better. And yeah, I mean, it was fine. I feel. Do you know? After watching it, I genuinely felt like it was the same feeling like that you're in the cinema and the lights come up and you're sitting and you're looking around going, what the fuck? What? Like, I know, and you go outside and it's like still the middle of the day and you feel depressed.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry that you had to
It's just
go through this.
It's a 90s, it's a really, really 90s film.
I tried to pick something fun.
I know.
Some fun films.
And for some reason, it's made me sad.
Christ.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because it reminds me of where I grew up, except where I used to go to the cinema. Listen, I was
the post-apocalypse does look a lot like Yorkshire.
It looks like Keighley. Because that's where we used to go to the cinema, was Keighley. Keighley was like the biggest town. Keighley is fucking miserable, man. And for some reason, like, I was 6 when this film came out, so I wouldn't have seen it at the time, and I've never seen it before. But it's so quintessentially 90s that I can feel the same feeling of coming out of the cinema, and it's a Sunday afternoon, and I've just come out of watching Johnny Mnemonic, and I've got that horrible 90s boring trance music playing in my head. And I'm like, oh, God. Can we go to Toy Master in McDonald's now? Because I need cheering up. And then we go to Toy Master in McDonald's and then fuck off home.
That sounds nice, though. That sounds like a nice memory.
Well, it's because we needed cheering up.
Right, yeah. Okay, well, that's fair enough.
I don't know what it is, and it's just and I'm going on feeling more than execution really as well, because it's a film, but it's just a film, and it does not spark joy, and the videotape is going in the bin.
Yeah, I mean, it's a piece of art. It is supposed to make you feel things, and if it makes you feel depressed, not because it's like a downbeat film, but just
I don't know
because
what it
you
is.
didn't enjoy it whatsoever, then
Yeah.
that's not good.
Now,
And that's fair.
I'll
It's very
tell you what-
subjective, obviously.
I'll tell you what I
but-
did watch this weekend as well. That it made. I was feeling really poorly over the weekend, the end of last week, and I put on Elvira's movie Macabre, and she was presenting Werewolf of Washington,
Oh my god.
and it's absolute fucking shit.
It's
and
the
I was
politician that's a werewolf.
yeah, and I was laughing my ass off, and
It's a like 50s film or something?
it's
black
it's
and white?
70s. No, it's 70s.
70s?
It's got a Dean Stockwell in it.
Oh shit.
Amazing fucking film. And I also watched The Last Man on Earth, which should have been depressing. Wasn't. Hilarious.
Jesus.
Vincent Price is like one of the only actors in it. He's walking around talking to himself going, yes, I found a dog and then I stabbed it in the face. Anyway, long story short, it was just a film
Yeah,
and I didn't really like it, and I'm sorry.
that's okay.
Didn't feel so good. Didn't feel good.
Have either of you found any hot pieces of trivia?
I was looking at trivia and I've completely fucking forgotten all of it.
This is the only film that the director directed. Robert Longo only ever directed this one film.
Damn.
It broke him.
It broke
I
him.
guess. Well,
Well-
I mean, he's done other kinds of art media, and after this one film, he was like, making a film was hell. So fair enough. It wasn't really for him.
The script was rumoured to have been dumped on the doorstep of Keanu Reeves' house.
Mm-hmm.
A tactic that piqued his interest and led to him accepting the role of Johnny. Honestly,
That's funny.
dump shit on my doorstep and I'll probably be like, cool, free stuff. I'll do it.
Especially if you see it's from like William Gibson or someone, and you're like, oh,
If somebody like dropped a script on my doorstep in general,
I'll do it.
I'll do it. And no
Okay, you're
money.
playing a prostitute who gets murdered.
I'll do it. Say no more,
It's
man.
a horror movie.
Say no fucking more.
Oh my god. I knew you'd go for it. Get murdered by a clown.
Oh my god, it's the perfect film.
In 2022, a black and white edition of the film was released called Johnny Mnemonic
Oh.
in black and white.
Maybe that's what I was watching and I didn't realise. This is so fucking dumb.
No, it was just in black.
Oh, yeah, mine was just in black.
Yeah.
In 2024, a version was released where you could watch it with your eyes shut and it still made as much sense.
There was a lot of internet marketing that Sony did for this film.
Oh.
There was an online scavenger hunt where you could win $20,000. Well, there was a total of $20,000 in prizes. Yeah, it was like a big thing. They had the special website that sold Johnny Mnemonic merch, which had a Hack Your Own Brain T-shirt.
I kind of want that. Not going. That sounds great.
They even hired William Gibson himself to do like a Q&A, but about like the video game. There actually was a video game apparently, and he wasn't the kind of person that did interviews. He didn't really like interacting with like press people, and kind of thought that his art stood by itself, and he didn't want to, have to, like David Lynch, like explain what things mean.
If you've got $250 spare, I can get a Hack Your Own Brain T-shirt.
Jesus,
from
$250. Fucking hell. They must be cheaper elsewhere. Have a look around, hunt
Yeah.
around. William Gibson described this Q&A as like taking a shower with a raincoat on and trying to do philosophy in Morse code. Didn't really like trying to chat to people on the internet and answer questions. Wasn't really his thing. Yeah. I got a great bit of trivia. Do you want to go first? Because mine is long and boring.
Yeah, so a little bit of trivia that the dolphin was used
It was a real dolphin.
in a Munch Bunch advert. Munch Bunch's UK yogurts. The dolphin, which features heavily at the end of the film, went on to star in a major marketing campaign in the UK with Munch Bunch yogurts.
For fuck's sake. I guess they sold, like, the prop. And, yeah. Okay, are you ready for this? You're just going to fall asleep in the middle of this. I'm going to read this out just because I found this very funny that someone wrote this on the internet and put it on IMDb. At around 44 minutes, the street preacher / assassin, Carl, uses a video phone hidden in a book. Rather than a Latin Bible, it appears to be embedded in pages 103 to 104 of the Venerabilis Caesaris Baroni SRE Cardinalis Bibliothecari Epistolae et Epuscula Pleracvi Nunc Premium Ex Archetypis in Lucum Eruta, a collection of Latin works by the Venerable Cesar Baranio, 1538 to 1607, an Italian cardinal and Catholic historian. The passages on these pages bear a eulogistic adulation of Holy Roman Emperor Rudolph II, 1552 to 1612, a contemporary of Caesare's. While both characters are interesting...
What?
Sure they are. The book and passage seem to have no significant bearing on the movie, so most likely this book and page was selected only as a convenient piece of Christian-looking Latin boilerplate, rather than being any kind of Easter egg. What fucking nerd?
11 upvotes as helpful, 14 downvotes as not helpful.
What fucking nerd wrote all of that?
This was under the spoilers section of the trivia.
Dates. Yeah, it's insane, isn't it? It's fucking madness.
How do I find out who that fucking is? I'm going to go around to their house and just
give them
grab them by the collar and go, no!
Stop posting on the internet.
Stop it.
Please stop.
This is not good.
Oh my God.
It is not trivia. It is not helpful. It is not an Easter egg. It's like me saying, at 53 minutes 32 seconds, Johnny Mnemonic goes into the bathroom and we see that he is actually using some Molten Brown hand soap. Molten Brown is a hand soap used in the UK, founded in 1642, and smells of bergamot and orange. It is likely that this does not have any bearing on the actual film and was just something that the props people found. I'm going to start writing shit
It's
like
so
that on
fucking
on
stupid,
IMDb.
isn't it? It's so fucking stupid.
It's rumoured that the boxer briefs that Keanu Reeves wore were Calvin Klein, although Calvin Klein wouldn't be invented for another 20 years. This proves that it was
Oh my
actually
God.
filmed in the future.
Holy shit. Wow, that is actually interesting.
Yeah,
Filmed in the future.
It was filmed in the future.
That's crazy. G, you still with us?
I'm not gonna lie, that is yeah, there was just like, if you know those people who have been like making sandwiches, but then they've been like chopping up those sandwiches and they're like, oh look, you can chop up all the shit that goes in a sandwich and you put it back in the sandwich. That's what the last like 10 minutes sounded like to me.
That's a very specific reference.
You know, like when somebody's cutting like a tomato, but then they zone out and they start cutting their own hand off, and then they don't
Yeah.
realise.
No,
because
dead
that's-
ass.
Yeah.
People are like, okay, you know the stuff that you put in a sandwich, like, you know, ham, tomato, cucumber. They've been chopping it up, as in like mincing the shit out of those ingredients, and then slopping it into a
like
sandwich.
a relish.
What the fuck are you on about?
I swear
Honestly,
to
that's
God.
more interesting than the trivia I read out.
G-Star's brain is way more interesting.
I swear to God.
G, what was the budget and box office for this film?
The film, it had a budget of 26 million, and the box office, womp womp, 19.1 million.
Ew.
Ew.
Matrix, 4 years later, had a budget of 63 million. So yeah, considerably more than this, but still, it's a good job they didn't spend more money on it because, yeah, it didn't do great.
It wouldn't have been any better if they'd have spent more money on it. I feel like it doesn't matter how much money you'd throw at that.
Johnny Mnemonic, the interactive action movie, is a point-and-click adventure science fiction video game. So that's the game. Oh,
no,
God.
Cyberpunk is a way better game, and it was executed fantastically. It's the same sort of story. You've got a naughty chip in your head that you want to get out.
Yeah.
You've got
Keanu Reeves
in there. You've got loads of cybernetic implants. You've got
a fresh fuck of cuckable meat.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, why did Cyberpunk get such a bad rap? Was it because it just didn't work?
It was shit on release. That's why.
It had a lot of bugs.
I encountered one bug in my whole playthrough.
Yeah. I've seen videos of loads of bugs. It definitely wasn't like what it should have been, and they definitely overpromised and underdelivered. However, I still think it's a good game.
It's a brilliant game.
Yes.
It was originally marketed as a role-playing game, and people were thinking it'd be like The Witcher, when it is much more a shooter.
It's an ARPG.
It's an
action RPG, and I think it was.
I was so out of my depth when I tried to play it that I just got my ass kicked, my ass handed to me.
I don't know what. Like, I played it on my laptop in bed through like one of those streaming services where you stream the game.
Oh.
And it worked great, and I thought it was fab. It was like, and this was like the same year that it was released, and I didn't know why everybody was giving it such a bad rap, really, because I was like, I'm not getting anything that's bad for this shit.
Maybe it helped that you were using like decent graphics cards in this remote place.
Exactly. But
having
like,
it streamed back to you.
It was well known that it was a thing that you could do. And it's a free service as well.
What do you mean, sorry?
Run
service!
Yeah, I was trying not to name it because they're not paying me for this.
Right, right. You can cut that out.
Can we bleep out the name?
Do you know, I know that it's based on an idea, but it's very rarely that you get sort of new ideas in games anyway, but it was well executed idea. So I recommend that much more than the film.
It's fair enough. That's fair enough. Okay, Lades, are we ready to roll?
What have you replaced Johnny Mnemonic with, by the way?
I haven't replaced it with anything specifically yet, but it doesn't matter because I'm locked out this week.
You are, but I just
2 in a row.
You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a think.
Have a good
and
think.
then put Dune on it.
Very nice.
But like a really weird cut that's on YouTube.
Really weird cuckable
3
fuck
hours long.
Of
what the fuck did you just call me?
Cuckable fuck.
So the first roll will be to narrow it down to 1 film on each of your lists. 2. So it will either be Raiders of the Lost Ark or The Hidden. Oh my god.
I'm placing my bet that it is going to be Raiders of the Lost Ark.
G always wins.
She always wins. There was actually somebody posted the stats on the subreddit, and it was G. It was like everyone's winning dice rolls, and it was like G was just way up at the top.
She had like twice as many wins.
Me and Simon are equal numbers now at the moment.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, right. If it's an odd number, it will be G-Star Games. If it's an even number, it will be Booth.
Oh wait, before you roll into that, this would be it'll be a good opportunity to tell people about the Patreon, because I know it like gets talked about at the end of the podcast.
Why now?
Because it just let me do it
right now as we're rolling and about to announce what the next film is.
Because
this is like the worst timing.
It's not the worst time. It's because people probably have forgotten that there is a Patreon.
I mean, we do a shout out at the end of every episode,
where people probably tune out.
which is like 1 minute from now.
Oh, fucking eat my ass. Okay, there's a Patreon, and you can sign
Where you
up.
can eat G-Star's ass.
Where you can eat my ass, and there's 3 tiers, and there's bonus episodes, and the Giga Yoppers get a producer shout out at the end of every episode.
We've got bonus episodes in that too.
We do, bruv.
We've got bonus episodes. You can look at pictures that I've done took. We're sorting merch as well, aren't we?
Are we?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Simon's just rolling loads of dice now.
I'm just enjoying it. I'm just
I've
enjoying
got a plugin on my Steam Deck that's the same thing now.
Did I tell you that when we were playing a role playing thing for Mystery Quest, Lydia had dice that actually had the numbers on instead of the pips because she's bad at counting, and she had to write down on her notes 6, not 9, because she was reading a 6 upside down as being 9 on a 6-sided dice. Okay, are we ready to announce the winning film?
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, it's G-Star Games, the odd number 1. Raiders of the Lost Ark is the next film we'll be discussing on YOMP. Da 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 da. Is this the one where he has diarrhea? I think it might be.
Is that where
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Is that where you get your representation? When somebody poops their pants.
I have IBS. It's a condition, G-Star Games. Nothing to laugh about.
Is this the one with the face melting Nazis?
The Ark, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
so
Ark.
I've already
yeah.
I've already got some trivia for Simon on this one. The guy.
Why are you saying it now and not
because
next...
I will forget, and I just think it's a really interesting little fact.
Okay.
The guy with the hat and the glasses. Don't know his name in the film.
The Gestapo guy.
Yeah, that melts. He's in Blackadder as the bishop where
Of Bath and Wells.
Yeah, the Bishop of Bath and Wells. It's him.
What? But he's huge, the Bishop of Bath and Wells.
Yeah.
That's the same actor.
That's the same actor!
Is this the Nazi that burns his hand and has the symbol?
So. Well, I mean, we haven't watched the film yet. I haven't watched it in ages.
It might be a different... Well, we'll see.
No, because I watched Blackadder recently, and I was looking at
baby-eating Bishop of Bath and Wells! It's that guy, right?
Yeah, it's that guy that
Eats
gets into
babies.
bed with Percy.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's that guy. Cool, right? I was watching Blackadder, and
I'm sure it's your face blindness, and it's completely different.
No, I literally looked it up on IMDb.
Okay.
So, unless my face blindness is extended to just reading things
I
completely
literally
wrong.
can't believe it, though. Like, I literally cannot believe that's the same guy.
Well, we'll
I don't
find
believe
out.
you. I don't
We'll
believe
find out. We'll find out
Okay, we'll find out. Okay.
next week on Pond.
On Pond. Everyone stay tuned. Welcome to Pond!
I'm really fucking tired.
You've done well getting through it, Sophie. You've done well. Thank you for being here.
Oh, I've mixed up the words of podcast and YOMP.
Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Watching? Where the fuck are they watching this?
They're just staring at the ceiling.
Thanks for watching the ceiling, everybody.
Thank you for watching the ceiling.
Keep
everyone.
watching the sky.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Holy shit. Why are we all so unhinged?
Thank you so much for listening to YOMP. I was going to wrap the names of the Giga Yompers this week because it would have been funny, but I just can't do it. I can't figure it out. But you've all got really fun names anyway. Maybe I'll work it into a song someday. Thank you for listening, and thank you to our patrons who support our passion projects, such as YOMP and doing all these fun things. Thank you, Bottle Gnomes. Thank you, Lawrence Dibba. Thank you, Sleepy Deej. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, I'm a Robot. Thank you, Luck. And thank you, Enki. Those are our Giga Yompers. And we've got a load of other fabulous support us the Patreon. You can even join on a free tier just to hang out and do some polls and things. But we really appreciate you. Thank you so much.